You know that feeling, right? That internal tug of war between the part of you that wants to get everything done and the part that just wants to rebel. Well, today we're going to give that inner rebel a name. It's called psychological reactance. So picture this. It's Sunday night. You're feeling super motivated. You grab your planner and you map out your entire week. Workouts are scheduled, meals are prepped, your work is broken down into these perfect, color-coded blocks. It looks amazing on paper. But then Tuesday morning hits. That 6 a.m. alarm for your workout? Snooze. That big, important project you were going to tackle first thing? Suddenly, cleaning out the junk drawer seems way more urgent. You're not just a little off track. You're actively doing the complete opposite of what you planned. If that sounds painfully familiar, trust me, you are not alone. And here's the most important thing I want you to hear today. This is not a character flaw. You're not lazy. You're not undisciplined. This is a predictable, hardwired psychological response. It actually has a name, and once you understand it, you can finally start to work with it. And that is exactly our promise for this explainer. We are going to unpack why your brain does this. And then, this is the best part, we're going to give you a practical set of tools to design goals and plans that your brain actually wants to get on board with. So, first things first, let's get a good look at the problem. Let's talk about the inner rebellion, that little mutiny that happens inside your head whenever you try to lock yourself into a strict plan. And just look at how normal these triggers are. I mean, a super detailed, rigid schedule, an extreme diet, an all-or-nothing workout plan. This is what we're told is the secret to success. But pay attention to the language we use. I must do this. I have to finish that. I should go to the gym. Every single one of those is a command. And your brain, well, it really doesn't like being ordered around, even when you're the one giving the orders. Okay, so we've seen what happens. Now let's get into the why. It's time to look under the hood at the mechanism, your brain's built-in freedom alarm. Here it is, plain and simple. Psychological reactance is basically your brain's internal alarm system that goes off anytime it feels like its freedom is being threatened. Think of it as a feature, not a bug, designed to protect our autonomy. The only problem is your brain can't tell the difference between an actual external threat to your freedom and that super strict to-do list you wrote for yourself last night. So the process is pretty straightforward. It happens in 3 steps. 1, you set a really strict rule, like I absolutely must not eat any sugar today. 2, your brain immediately perceives that as a loss of freedom. And 3, it instinctively pushes back to prove it's still in charge. And what does that pushback usually look like? Yep, eating a donut just to make a point. I absolutely love this quote because it just perfectly captures the feeling, right? It's like there's a tiny, grumpy lawyer living in your head, and their one and only job is to fight back against any rule that uses words like must, have to, or should. And let me tell you, that little lawyer is very, very good at its job. And hey, if this whole idea of constantly being at war with your own brain is hitting a little too close to home, this is probably a good time to subscribe. Seriously, our whole goal here is to give you the owner's manual for your mind, so you can finally stop arguing with it and start working together. All right, we've spent enough time diagnosing the problem. Now it's time for the solution. Let's get into the anti-reactance system. This is all about learning how to work with your brain instead of against it. Okay, tool number 1 is so simple, but it is an absolute game changer. Just change your words. I have to finish this report. Feels like a drag, a total burden. But I choose to finish this report. That reclaims your power. I get to go to the gym frames it as an opportunity, not a punishment. This isn't just playing with words. It's sending a direct signal to that freedom alarm in your brain that you are the one in control here. Oh, this one is my personal favorite. Instead of giving yourself a single, rigid command, you create a menu. The goal is no longer, I must run 5K. The goal is, I'm going to move my body today. By giving yourself a few good options, a run, a bike ride, some yoga, you completely satisfy your brain's need for choice. You still hit the overall goal, but you did it by collaborating with your brain instead of barking orders at it. Tool number 3 is the minimum version rule, and this is your secret weapon against that all-or-nothing thinking. Let's say your plan is to meditate for 20 minutes, but you are just not feeling it. The old you would probably do nothing. Instead, ask yourself, what's the absolute minimum I can do? Can I do 1 minute? That tiny win keeps your momentum going and is so much better than a total shutdown. And our final tool is all about identity. See, I have to write is a chore,
But I'm a writer is a statement about who you are. And what do writers do? Well, they write. The action just becomes a natural expression of your identity, not some painful command you have to force yourself to follow.
So let's do a quick recap of your new anti-rebellion toolkit. 1. Reframe your language around choice. 2. Create menus, not mandates. 3. Define the smallest possible win to keep you in the game. And 4. Connect your actions to who you want to be. These 4 strategies are how you disarm that inner rebel for good. We've gone over all the tools. Now it is time to actually put your new toolkit to work.
Okay, here is your challenge. I want you to find 3 things on your to-do list right now that feel like a have to. Got 'em? Good. Maybe one is, I have to clean the kitchen. I want you to rewrite it. Start with choice. I am choosing to create a clean, relaxing space for myself. Then give yourself a menu. Option A, just do the dishes. Option B, wipe down the counters. Option C, sweep the floor. Just pick one and see how much better that feels.
So now that we've called a truce with your inner rebel, the next logical step is to make these new habits actually feel good, maybe even fun. In our next explainer, we are going to dig into something called temptation bundling. It's a genius way to pair something you need to do with something you want to do. It is the perfect next step. I'll see you then.